Hey there, you me and DC fans, and welcome if you're new. I am the stepson of Krypton,
Mantis.
and today we are bringing you kind of an emergency video. I say that we knew this is coming for a few days now. The Supergirl teaser trailer. Now, it's literally has just dropped. It's right at noon. I'm gonna try to get this video out as fast as possible. However, because it is an intro teaser, I don't want to do our normal intro into this, so we're just gonna go ahead and roll on into it. Mantis, are you ready to watch this?
Yep. Crypto.
He's doing on the paper.
You managed to get most of it on the paper this time. Good job, buddy. Hi, cars are out. Hereby declare
It was a bus stop.
the 23 will
funny.
be the best year yet.
This feels like Guardians of the Galaxy, man.
Right.
Let's be honest, babe, it's not a very high bar to clear.
It really does.
I didn't know any of you were still alive. What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. Okay, this does not look like this is gonna end well. For you guys.
Do others on your planet have powers like you?
No, it's a pretty small group of two.
What's
Uh-oh.
Superman?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the
Cool.
truth.
Okay.
All right, so that was the teaser trailer for Supergirl. Mantis, first thoughts.
Um, I said this when we were watching it. The beginning part kind of reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I know James Gunn isn't directing this, right? Like it's different director. But it feels like Gunn was like, let me just add a little my spice on the top of it. The lighting inside the her ship or wherever she was in there kind of felt like that. Um, you can tell that the main theme of this is she is not Kal-El at all. Like she has the same powers, she came from the same place, she's from the same family, but she is not Kal-El at all. Um, and that's fine. I mean, historically, Supergirl is not Kal-El. But I like their approach. I think with Millie, or not Millie, is that her name?
Millie Alcock, yeah.
Millie. Okay, sorry, I was thinking Millie Bobby Brown. But yes, I think she'll do fine. She's grown up a little bit since her dragon days there in Game of Thrones, and she fills the suit out nicely. I thought it looked fine. I didn't get a good look at it again. No, everyone's gonna go back and watch. I'm gonna dissect everything. We already took a little liberty at taking a look at Lobo because I think we were kind of both disappointed that at least I was, there wasn't a little bit more, but it's a teaser. I'm sure we're gonna get at least two, maybe three more, actual full length 2 minute, 2 minute and 30-second trailers of it. So it was okay for what I saw. Yeah.
Well, I think being more than 6 months out, we got a lot more than we did with the Superman movie, right? Because, like,
Yeah.
it was, like, just a few months before we even got a teaser, and then we got one full-length trailer, and then we got some kinda add-on stuff, so to get a teaser this far out was at least nice to see. Yes, I would have loved to seen a little more of the main man, just because you can kinda make it out there, and I'll have it blown up on the screen. Hopefully, it won't be super pixelated because, again, it's a rough image. We did go back and check that out. But I think the one thing that also kind of interests me, and I think this is kind of, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. I'm not. I mean, you can quote me. I did say this, but when after the movie comes back out, we may revisit it. Is that I think it's interesting. She said Krypton didn't die in a day, right?
Hmm.
That we're going to see normally we just see the sun, the star, their star explodes and the planet just is immediately destroyed, or in case of like Man of Steel, the earth's core ruptured and boom, the planet's just gone. So I think it's interesting. And also, again, I have to go back and look at it. This is why I really don't like necessarily doing reactions, because like I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on, and it's really hard when I'm on camera and I'm like, trying to like at least have some kind of emotion, but I'm like so focused. Was that Candor being bottled?
I
Like when you
don't
saw that
know.
the force field come, 'cause
Yeah,
that was my first thought. The way it looked like, I'm like, is that Candor being bottled
could
by
be.
Brainiac?
It could be that. It could be a force field that they have some defense on the city type of thing that is there because they're getting under attack. I do. You mentioned that. I forgot to mention that my first kind of diatribe there. The fact that they are revisiting, Krypton here a little bit. If they're going to take it the route like you said, and it's more of a little of the backstory of what happens on Krypton. And again, I love the 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 sci-fi series Krypton, and you get to kind of see all that. And they hint at it in Man of Steel a little bit. That Jor-El is pissed off because of the bureaucracy and the fact that most of the leaders of Krypton have become almost high and mighty. They can't see their own mistakes. They can't see the forest before the trees type of thing. And I hope they kind of go into that because there's a lot of political stuff in there. And I don't say it needs to be a big part of the movie, but I thought before Man of Steel, we didn't get much backstory on Krypton at all. Then Man of Steel took a huge step in that direction. You got to see all the technology. I thought it was awesome. Here, maybe they'll do kind of the same thing, but maybe a little bit more of the political lines and the a deeper backstory of Krypton. It's a good set to do it. The bad guys in this, I say the bad guys, they remind me of Raiders from like Fallout. They're kind of like space raiders. Um, or maybe they're all bounty hunters too. Maybe literally all of them are bounty hunters.
So that's when I saw like the bar scenes made me think, like you said, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? They're just in these
Yeah.
kind of dive bars with all the bounty hunters and raiders, all these mercs and everything like that. And she's just out there getting drunk, and of course everybody seemed to be after her, right? You know,
Mhm.
whether it be they're trying to collect a bounty, or it's just because they're pissed that she did something else, because clearly she's just going around drinking and having fun. But I gotta imagine, we know Lobo, the main man, is a bounty hunter, that he's wanting her for something, either something she did or they're trying to collect her for something.
That makes a good point because the force field, or it could be like you said, Brainiac, and she got away, right? Maybe Krypton or Kandor or the city, the whatever, was actually previously bottled by Brainiac, but she got away. And because she got away, Brainiac hired uh, Lobo to go find her, or not even just him, but maybe there's a bunch of them that he hired to go grab. Well, again, we don't know who the villain is here. Could be backstory setup, could be setting up the next Superman movie. We don't know, but
But we know, and sometime soon, if we could stop putting out comic book videos, because there's so much going on in the KO event, we have our Brainiac is confirmed as the villain for the 2027 Superman Man of Tomorrow. So maybe this is the setup, right? We see
Mhm.
Candor get bottled. He's sending out Lobo to go get her because she got away, and whatever the case may be. Again, just completely speculating off this. We got a minute and something long, a 2 minute trailer, so we're just
Mhm.
speculating. Problem with these teasers is everything kind of goes by so fast that we want to get a reaction out to the trailer, but then I'm going to go back and dissect this son of a bitch, as I have to watch it a bunch of times to edit this video. I'm like, oh, there's this, there's this, there's this. But then they're also taking some liberties with some kind of new, like a new direction, kind of like Man of Steel did. Man of Steel like went away from the frozen planet and the star exploding to, it wasn't a planet of ice, because it had nothing to do with their star was getting ready to explode, which explains why they would be a frozen planet, right? Their
Mhm.
sun's not putting out as, or their star's not putting out as much heat. So they took some liberties. I feel like here we're going to see some more liberties taken. So, just kind of again, I don't want to say reinventing, but just, kind of changing it up a little bit, kind of
There
making it your own.
and there's been different iterations of Krypton previously of what happened there. Not only in the movies but in the comics. I mean, we've seen it several times. I think um an interesting thing is that there's a supporting character there. She looked another female cast member with a sword or something. Again, I want to go back and watch this 3 4 times, just to find out see what happened. And we're doing this. We literally watched it one time, so I'm trying to remember kind of the things that you got to see her in kind of a fight scene a little bit where she was surrounded by more raiders and she was in her suit at that point. So I don't know where that was at, but
Which is interesting because, the little brief kind of snippet we got of her in the Superman movies, like she likes to go party on planets with, red stars. That way she can get drunk. Well, clearly here it wasn't. We can one see that it looks like it's
mhm,
a normal, a younger star that's giving off, light similar to Earth, but also she has her powers, right?
yeah,
So clearly she,
yeah,
likes to go out sometimes and party where if she gets into trouble, she can fuck things up.
yeah, yeah. And then one other difference, kind of that this film has kind of done that Superman kind of did a little bit, and maybe it'll be different in the next trailers or in the actual movie. But they had, I don't, I can't the Call Me song. I can't remember who sings that. I think I want to say it's Pat Benatar. I could be completely wrong on that, but they had that playing throughout this trailer. And that's why to me it kind of felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy type thing. Whereas like Man of Steel, there is this Hans Zimmer score behind it. They didn't want to do John Williams. They didn't do John Williams in the new Superman movie. This is kind of in that Guardians of the Galaxy, rock 70s, 80s type soundtrack to this. So I unless I don't know. I just it's just a thing I noticed, and they're not going with the whole heroic montage, uplifting score in this. So we'll see if that changes in the next trailer. It may, but
Yeah, it'll be fun for people reacting, like bigger reactors that'll because any normal person who does like movie and TV show reactions is probably going to do a reaction to this trailer as well. But the good thing is, because we aren't monetized, I can play it, and all they're going to say is, well, they won't copyright strike it. They'll copyright claim it and say you can't make any money off it. We don't fucking make any money off of it anyway, so I can just play the whole damn thing, and I don't
yeah,
have to worry about that. So
true, true.
with some musics and such, like some of the Superman content got blocked in territories where because especially with the whole lawsuit thing going on and other things that happened. Whereas like with this and some of the music and shit, they're just like, oh, you can't monetize. Well, we're
You
not
know,
anyway, so deal with it.
I have a grand prediction to make here.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be crazy, but to me, it kind of makes sense. I think this movie may actually do better than Superman.
So the reason why I could see that is one, it is the next movie in the franchise, right? So you set it up, it did okay, it did pretty decent, right? It did well. And then now this next one is going to because one is going to kind of help set up the next movies, but also because she's a more fun seeming character than Superman. Again, a lot of people just whether you like
They don't
him or
care.
not, they just find Superman kind of boring. I don't personally
Well,
agree with that, but they just like it's not as fun because he's saving squirrels and he's doing all of
there's
this.
there's that, but also there's a lot of pressure to make Superman idyllic this picture snapshot of who everyone thinks Superman is. I don't
Well,
think there's that pressure on Supergirl to make her this. I think because of that, they can take more liberties, like you said. There's more liberties in making the movie more funny. They can do a lot. They can go off Earth. They can do other things with the character. And I have a feeling that this movie, because there's not that much pressure on it to perform like Superman did, that it could possibly be better at the box office.
well, and then the other thing too is Lobo, right? Everybody is
Mhm.
excited to see Jason Momoa play Lobo, and again, we got that 3 frames. I'll have to go back and double check it, but like we got that little itty bitty, but you could see it was him or it was Lobo. everybody's excited to see him because he's kind of a fun. Realistically, he is a villain slash kind of anti-hero. So I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys are following along what's going on in the KO event. I'm working on the video right now of the Wonder Woman versus Lobo. They're getting ready to fight, right? But
Hmm.
for those of you who aren't familiar with our favorite Zarnian, right? Like he basically wipes out in like a science or a freaking school experiment. He wipes out his whole race of the Zarnian race, basically in a lot of the iterations. Now they've changed their story over the years, but most of the story, the Zarnians were peaceful. He was the one exception. He basically wipes out his entire race. So I don't necessarily say he's an anti-hero. He's a villain, but he's a fun one, right? He's one that
Yeah.
sometimes you could kind of root for because he's
He's
just being
charismatic,
yeah.
right?
So,
He's still a kind of a bad guy, but he's not one that you just hate. You're like, God, I hate that guy.
he's a lovable
Because
bad guy.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. And this is a case too where, don't get me wrong, like Millie Alcock is the star of this film, but again, you have this is another a reason, like you said, a great opportunity this movie could do better is you can have this movie where the villain outshines the main actor in the film. And Jason Momoa, again, he's been in a main actor in the Aquaman. He's been in a couple other movies as supporting actor as well. But in this, he has a chance. I know he's a supporting actor, but he could. It's a case where it could be a Joker type situation, not in the same way that Joker did with Batman. Obviously, I'm just saying like this is another case where the villain could all of a sudden take some of the spotlight.
Well, and two, you have Jason Momoa, like when he first got cast in the DCEU as Aquaman, they didn't tell him at first. He thought he was auditioning for Lobo. So then when
Yeah.
James Gunn got the green light to do the DCU, he's like, and James Gunn has said it, I'll try to find it, but I need to get this video out as quick as possible. But there's the clip where he's like, I got a text from Jason Momoa and it just said Lobo.
Got the job. There was a message from Jason immediately came at Jason Momoa texting me saying, just all caps, Lobo baby.
Right? Like, so he was
Yeah.
already, he loves the character. So again, you have that when you get these people like Henry Cavill that are real passionate about their characters, they do so well with them.
And
And
and literally, you're right. Like certainly not just Momoa, but Lobo. If there's a character, it's kind of like Guy Gardner is a perfect like hero for James Gunn to write because of his style of comedy and the jokes and things. We see it in with John Cena, who's not really a comedian, but we see that type of comedy in Peacemaker. Lobo is like the perfect character to do that type of comedy with, right? And James
uh,
Gunn's good at that.
absolutely. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see. But guys, I don't want this video to run on super, super long. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it on our favorite Zarnian there. But let us know, how did you guys feel about the trailer? Are you excited? I know it's just a teaser. There's a lot going on. We may end up doing a video that breaks down the trailer even more. Uh, However, just because of what's going on in the trailer, I don't know that there's a lot of like crazy Easter eggs to unpack there from that teaser, just because
I
some
don't
of it's
think
just
so.
taking place off Earth and it all's like new locations that maybe I'll look at it probably 8,000 times. And if we kind of see that, hey, it's working out, we'll do a serious breakdown of it too. But we just wanted to watch this and figured, hey, be a great thing to add to the channel here. So, Mantis, do you have anything else?
No, I do like we've said before. I kind of want to see the first full length trailer to see how they expand on some of the stuff that we've seen. It's really hard to tell in a movie like this that a teaser trailer to kind of piece anything together. At least in the first time that we've seen it, big things stand out like Lobo and her and the couple other like you mentioned. I didn't even think about the bottling thing. So we'll go back and kind of dissect that a little bit and maybe talk about it. Who knows? So yeah.
All right, guys, if you have made it with us this far on a reaction to a trailer, we definitely appreciate it. Consider giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and having the bell notifications clicked so you will get alerted as we get more and more. We get the full length trailer. We'll be doing those. Plus, if you're following along in the comics with the KO, this video is getting ready to release probably within the next day or two, where we can find out what happens to the main man as he goes up against Wonder Woman in the DC KO winner take all.
Yeah, one of those has got to go,
Right.
right? Wonder Woman or Lobo's gone. So I see.
Kind of rooting for the main man on that one, just because he'll be more fun the further he goes on in the fight. But
Yeah,
we don't know.
I think
Zarnians are a very, very powerful race. I'll be doing a little quick synopsis on the Zarnians and their power in that video as well. Just kind of give those who aren't familiar with the character a little information on it. All right, guys. This video has already kind of ran on. I apologize, but there was kind of a lot to talk about in just even the brief that we got here. So
yeah,
that is going to do it for us on this special edition of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys. We'll see you then.
later.